I have pro-tan color blindness. This means I struggle to distinguish between shades of red and green. But before I get into that, the goal for today's video is to continue building this house. So some colors I struggle with is green, yellow, orange, red, and brown. These colors seem more similar to me than they would for a normal person. But the main colors I struggle with are purple and blue. For some reason, just something about those colors, I just cannot tell them apart. A bit later on, I'm going to tell you guys a story about purple and blue, and you guys will understand how much I struggle with those colors. All the colors that I just named are so much harder to distinguish when I'm in a low light situation. An example of this is when I'm on the road at night, and when I try to identify what color a car is, it actually is quite hard. And the last color that really messes with me is red. This is because I see it a lot darker than what normal people would see it as, and the specific situation where it's really annoying is when there's red text on a black background. And this happened in school sometimes, but it would be very rare. Most of the time the background would be white, but there were situations where the background would be black and red text, and it would be impossible for me to read. This may not be easy to visualize, so I'm going to help you out by putting some images I found on Google that helps you see how I see the world. So the image that's on your screen right now is what a normal person would see this image as, and the image that's on your screen now is what I see the image as. I'm gonna put them side by side for you so you can easily compare. When you see these images, I'm sure there's a huge difference for you guys, but when I saw these images, it looked exactly the same to me. When I first stumbled upon the website that I got the images from, I assumed that the website was trolling. I even sent the images to my friend just to make sure that the website wasn't trolling. But when I sent it to my friend, he thought I was trolling. He could not believe that I couldn't see the difference. So that probably just proves how colorblind I actually am. Okay, now that the introduction is over, the main part of this video is gonna be me talking about what it was actually like growing up being colorblind. I initially found out that I was colorblind back in year 2, which makes me 6 years old, I believe. So pretty much a teacher recognized that I was struggling with distinguishing colors, so she took me to the side and she pretty much started testing to see if I was colorblind. And the way she was doing this was she was taking color pencils and just pointing it at me and asking me what color those color pencils were. After a few tries, she quickly found out that I was definitely colorblind, and she just told me about the basics of being colorblind. But she was being super nice about it. She pretty much told me that was completely normal, and if I ever needed help, I should ask her, or I could ask any of my classmates, and I'm sure that they would be willing to help. Which was super nice of her, but because she made it seem like it wasn't a problem at all, I didn't really think much of it afterwards. Honestly, I thought I was just very bad with colors, and that was that. I think this balcony thing is quite nice. Let me go look how it looks like from the outside. I can't really see it, but I think I should extend that a little bit. So as I said, that teacher was being very nice, but not all teachers were as nice. So in year 6, which makes me 10 I believe, I was in art class and we were painting like the horizon or something, so pretty much the sky, the sea, and the sun or whatever. And my colorblind ass starts painting the sky purple. The people I was sitting with never ended up telling me anything. They probably just assumed I was doing like an abstract sky. Nobody telling me anything just made me paint the sky purple, and when the teacher walked around and saw that I was painting the sky purple, she got so mad at me. In front of the whole class, she started screaming at me, pretty much asked me why I painted the sky purple. As I said, I was 10 at this point, so obviously I was just very scared, and I never thought painting something the wrong color was ever that deep. But yeah, that seriously scarred me because the whole class started laughing when she was screaming at me, and when you're 10 years old and people are laughing at you, that's the most embarrassing thing that can happen. Once people figured out that I was colorblind, people started testing me to see if I wasn't lying. This happened to me throughout the years, and it still happens to me now. So pretty much what people do is they point at any object of color, and that pretty much is every item in this world because everything has a color. And they just ask me what color that is, and obviously sometimes I get it wrong and they just find it hilarious. When I say any object, I mean any object. In your head right now, think of any object and comment it down below, and I'm sure that I've got tested on what color that is. At first it was funny. It was never funny for me, but I could understand how it was funny to people. It gets really old really fast. At first my close friends would do the exact same thing, but now that they're so used to it, they do not find it funny at all. Oh, I almost did that. Bro, I thought I was him, bro. I thought I had the reaction time like that. I definitely don't. But the fact that people still do it now is crazy. I understand when we're kids, like, haha, funny, I don't know what color that is, but now we're 21, like, come on, let's grow up a little bit. You can't really even see the roof. I'm gonna fix that eventually, guys. That is so ugly. Another thing that people love doing is making me do the colorblind test. I've done the colorblind test so many times in my life, it's actually crazy. I'm always willing to do it because it really doesn't take a long time. It takes like 2 minutes. So anytime anyone asks me, I'm just willing to do it. And if you've never done a colorblind test, it's pretty much a series of patterns that are different colors. And within the pattern, there'll be a number and you just have to choose what the number is. It's quite a simple concept, and the test figures out if you're colorblind or not really quick. But if you are colorblind, it might take a few more questions to see what type of colorblind you are. I wanted to make a double bed. You know what? Let me go hunt for some sheep real quick. When a normal person does a colorblind test, they can easily see the numbers. But when I do it, I obviously can't see the numbers in some certain images. I think this is a sheep from last episode, so I don't want to kill him. He's my boy. And when I would do the test in front of certain people, they would actually think that I'm faking it for attention or something. And I would never get that. Like, why would I want people to think that I'm colorblind? Like, what's so cool about that? And there were other people that just found it very surprising that I didn't see what they saw. And honestly, the first few times I did the test, I was super surprised as well. My friends would always be like, oh yeah, that's obviously like number 7. And I thought they were trolling me because I would obviously see nothing. But now that I've done it so many times and I've got the same result, it's not very surprising anymore. One funny thing that I realized recently though was that my dad's also colorblind, and he had no idea that I was colorblind as well. So we both just found out that the other person was colorblind. And when I say recently, this was only like a few years ago. We're the same type of colorblind, but he's just way more colorblind than me. And this has led to like hilarious moments within the family. There have been times where my sister and mom have forgotten that me and my dad are colorblind. An example is them asking us to pass them like the purple t-shirt or something. Every time that happens, me and my dad just look at each other and we don't know which t-shirt they're talking about. In our eyes, there are 2 t-shirts in front of us that look exactly the same, but obviously to a normal person like my mom and sister, one is blue and one is purple. You know, this has happened so many times, and when they finally realize that we're colorblind, it's just quite a funny moment. Also, growing up, I obviously didn't know many other colorblind people because it's quite a rare thing to have. In fact, apart from my dad, I think in my life I've only met 2 other colorblind people, which is kind of crazy to think about. The first colorblind person I met was actually in school, and we're not super close, but we share the pain of being colorblind. He understood everything I went through, he understood the jokes, because he went through the exact same thing. He wasn't the same type of colorblind, but he was colorblind as well, and you know what, it was actually quite cool to have someone that related to my problems. Honestly, I don't know where he is at now, but you know what, if you're someone watching this, bro, shout out to you. You're an absolute legend. The next colorblind person I met is a close friend now, and I met him through another close friend. And the way that we both found out that the other person was colorblind was through a FIFA match. Throughout the years, whenever I've played FIFA, no one has had the problem where the kits look exactly the same. Most people choose their teams, choose their kits, and just play the game. But as my friends have realized, I always need to make sure that the kits are different enough for me to differentiate them. There have been so many times where I've gotten into a game and both teams look exactly the same to me, and it's just impossible to know which player is mine. So when I was playing FIFA with this guy and he was taking a while to decide on what kit to choose, I knew instantly that he was also colorblind. I asked him if he was colorblind and he asked me how I knew, and I told him exactly that, and he just started laughing. I was also the first person ever for him that did this. Yeah, so once again, it was actually quite cool for someone to relate to such a niche problem. Also, it's very surprising how much color actually gets brought up in conversation. Obviously, when we were younger, it would make sense if color would get brought up because we were always coloring in things, we were always painting things, it would just make sense. But now that I'm 21, I've realized that color is still brought up quite a lot. You know, obviously it's not that much, but it's way more than I thought it would be. I can't really give specific examples of this, but genuinely, it does get brought up more than I thought it would. And a quick thing I wanted to bring up about being made fun of was, it can get very old when someone I don't know is making fun of me, but when it's my close friends, I still find it hilarious. An example of this is the friend that introduced me and my FIFA friend. Because he has 2 colorblind friends, he loves making fun of us. And when he does it, it's actually funny as hell. One thing he used to always do was, there was this light on his wall that changed colors, and they would be the same color but just different shades, and he would always change the color and ask us what color it is. And obviously me and my friend would get it wrong sometimes, and in those scenarios it's actually super funny because I know my friends are laughing with me and not at me, and honestly, yes, it's a fun thing to laugh about. The last thing I wanted to talk about was when some people find out that I'm colorblind, they always say, why don't I just get colorblind glasses? And I think they do this because they have no idea how much it actually costs. Before recording this video, I did a quick Google search and found out that they're around $300. You know, and right now in my life, I do not have $300 to just throw away for some colorblind glasses. I just don't think it would be worth it. Don't get me wrong, at one point in my life, I would definitely want to see how other people see this world. And I would love to buy for my dad as well one day, but I just don't think the difference is gonna be that deep. I might find out that orange is a bit brighter than how I see it, but I would never have the reaction that Logan Paul did when he saw colors for the first time. Well, not when he saw colors, but when he put on colorblind glasses for the first time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that video was fake, but anyways, you get what I'm trying to say. I know you want the seed, boy, but if you don't look away right now, I'm going to kill you. I'm giving you 5 seconds, bro. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. As I switched away, he did not. I switched away from the seed and he did not care about me anymore. Bro, I know you want the seed, but okay, you can have 1. I'll give you 1. Alright, now fuck off. You greedy bastard, why do you want more? I literally cannot feed you anymore. Oh, okay, you're gonna die. I had to do it, bro. I had to do it. Talking about colorblind glasses actually reminded me of something that happened back in school. So the first friend that I mentioned that also was colorblind, there was this one time where he bought colorblind glasses into school, and he's not the same type of colorblind as me, as I said. But he was just super interested to see if I would see a difference. And when I put it on, there was no difference at all. But apparently for him, there was actually quite a drastic change. So yeah, seeing that makes me kinda want to get colorblind glasses one day. I'm quite pessimistic right now, but what if it's like the most life-changing thing ever? It would make the $300 worth it. I think that's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you ever dealt with colorblindness in any way. And yeah, if you ended up enjoying this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you're still watching till now, you're definitely enjoying it, so you might as well click on the video that just popped up. Or don't, it's obviously up to you. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great night. Peace.